Y'all West last weekend, and I got to do something that I've been really wanting to do for a very long time. I got to meet and interview Richelle Mead of the Vampire Academy series and Bloodline series. All these, I got to talk to her. I've met a lot of authors. I've met my favorite authors, but the one author that has eluded me for these past 2 years, 1 year, has been Richelle Mead. She didn't go to the Vampire Academy premiere, so Christine and I didn't have a chance to talk to her then or meet her, but she went to Y'all West this weekend, and I made sure that I got an interview with her because I had some questions that I wanted answered.
Hi, Richelle. Nice to meet you, NATASHA'S. Hey, thanks for chatting.
Yeah. This isn't like the most professional interview ever. We had thousands of interruptions, like with birds and a squirrel. And authors walking by and a screaming child, but it was still good, I think. So the first couple questions I asked her about her writing process, because she pops out books so quickly, and she was like, oh, so nonchalant about it.
The biggest thing is just keeping on a schedule for me, especially having kids. It sounds so boring. I wish I could give people like this great exotic answer, like, oh, I have to go to the beach, and that gets me going. It's just really, you know, you sit down at that desk, you treat it like a job, and I would recommend that for a lot of people trying to write. You got to put in those hours each day. You got to write. Even days when you don't think the words are good, you get something out and then you revise later. So keeping to a schedule is what I do.
Okay. So like, was this writing something that you wanted to do your whole life, or did it just kind of like come out of nowhere?
No, it was definitely something I wanted to do. I was always a big lover of stories, even when I was younger. And so as a kid in elementary school, I was always making my own books, picture books and stories. And that just kind of continued on until my adult life.
How do you structure your series? Because there's like, you have 6 books in Vampire Academy, 6 books in Bloodlines. Is that something that you think about beforehand, or was Vampire Academy like a fluke and you just kind of followed that?
I plan all my series in advance.
Okay.
I know some authors just start a book and they figure it out as they go along. For me, when I write the first book, I have to know where the last book is going to end. And that doesn't mean I have every detail of every single book planned out, but I know all the big beats that are going to happen. I know how each book in the series will end, and I feel like it just helps me seed things and plan plot lines better if they're organized that way.
Then I asked her what character she loves to write for the most, and she kind of answered Adrian.
It's hard to pick a favorite. Everybody offers something different, and that's what's fun being a writer, is you can get into the heads of a lot of different characters. Adrian is a really funny character to write because he has no filter.
Yeah.
Rose is kind of like that too, in a way. She has a different style, but she's also just one of those unscripted people. But at the same time, a character like Sydney, who's an overthinker, who's so logical and so smart, is also incredibly fun. So it's like picking children.
And then after that question, I led into my other question about what's your favorite Adrian Ivishkov moment? I thought that flowed really well.
I think one of my favorite scenes with Adrian was in The Golden Lily when Sydney finds him sitting on her car, and he's kind of at the bottom of the barrel, and there's just a lot of emotion in that scene. I think they're both exposed and like really honest with each other, and at the same time there's humor in it, which is what I like, because Adrian's just being so out there, and those are my favorite things to put into the book: the humor and the emotional, you know, the tugging of the heartstrings, and when you can weave them together, that's the best for me.
Did you pull like Adrian, like his bits of his personality from your life, from your family members at all, or was it just a character that you wanted to make?
There's no one person I'd say he's based on. All my characters, all the things I write about, I know they come from glimmers of things in my own life, but I couldn't pinpoint anything. I think when you're an author, you're always just constantly observing the world, observing people, and filing it away for later.
So you've written adult and young adult series. Which do you prefer writing?
I like both. I don't think I could pick. They each offer something, you know, different. With the adult, it's fun not to have the limits, but the adult, the young adult, they trigger such an emotional reaction with the readers that's great too.
Richelle Mead has a brand new book coming out. It's a standalone novel, high fantasy, called Soundless, and she kind of explained to me what's going to be happening in that book.
Can you tease anything about your upcoming book, Soundless? And is that a standalone?
Yeah, Soundless is a standalone.
Okay.
It takes place in a fantasy world inspired by ancient China. And the premise is there's this village, this remote mountain village, where no one's been able to hear for generations. And they've formed this whole society based on living without sound. And there's this girl, she's an artist, so she's a very important member of a society that has to be so visual. And one morning she wakes up and she has hearing back, which no one has had for years and years and years. And so she has to adjust to that, suddenly dealing with sounds in the world and also figuring out why this happened. And she ends up going on this quest to figure out what's going on with her village and with her. And she's accompanied by a young man she used to be involved with, so it's a little complicated, as it always is in my books.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's fun.
That'll be fun. It's high fantasy. Okay. Is there another genre that you would like to tap into, or like is there a genre that you want to stay away from in the future?
I mean, I've always just wanted to hover in the fantasy sci-fi realm. People seem surprised. They're like, oh, it's not vampires. I mean, I never set out to be a vampire author. It just happens that my vampire series is the one that hit and made my name. But I've always loved all things sort of overlapping in these genres, so I'll probably keep writing in them.
What about a contemporary?
Maybe. I mean, it's nothing I have any plans for, but it could happen.
Okay, cool. I would definitely love to see something because you just write such good relationships.
Oh, thank you.
Then I asked the TV show movie question about the Vampire Academy series because the movie failed. We tried to get Frostbite. That didn't work out. And then all of a sudden we got this offhanded tweet from Julie Plec that she wants to pen a Vampire Academy TV show. But she already has Vampire Diaries, so...
Did you know that Julie Plec tweeted out that she wanted to pen a Vampire Academy television series? Julie Plec is the writer. Do you know her?
I don't know her. She's a fan of the series, and that comment was made very tongue-in-cheek.
It was.
It was not. There is nothing going on with Julie Plec.
Totally
right
understandable.
Now, and I'm constantly asked about it. Like,
okay,
so
on
if you
Twitter?
if you can put the word out, that would be great.
Yeah.
Because,
Julie Plec is not officially with Vampire Academy TV show.
Nope, and there is currently nothing going on with a Vampire Academy TV show. Now I can't. I mean,
and the fans want it.
Yeah, and things change from day to day. I can't say, oh, there never will be, but I can tell you at this second, there is nothing going on and that she is not involved.
Okay, because I know that like they've been trying with Frostbite, and then the Shadowhunters is coming out on television show, so there might be hope. At least that's what fans want. How do you feel about like a TV show? Would that be what you wanted, or did you want movies?
I'm so open to any of it. I'm more open than the fans are, honestly.
Okay.
For me, the books are the main thing.
Yeah.
Everything else is kind of a fun interpretation. I think fans see it differently. For them, a movie or a TV show makes it real. And for me, the books are what's real, and so I'm very flexible on everything else.
There is nothing officially happening with Julie Plec and a TV show that Richelle Mead knows right now. It could change in the future. We don't know, but right now there isn't anything happening with the TV show. It could happen. There is hope because the Shadowhunters is coming back to TV on ABC Family if you haven't seen that yet. And last, I asked about her plans for the Vampire Academy world.
I haven't finished the Ruby Circle, so no spoilers. But what are your plans for the Vampire Academy world? I've heard that there's an epilogue and that it's kind of talked about.
It could. It's left a little open, but there are no plans to do anything right now. I think I need a good long break from those characters. I've got Soundless and then another series, which I can't talk about, in the pipeline.
Okay.
And so I just need a break from those guys, and it will make a better book if I ever do go back to them to have that distance. So no plans, but it could happen.
I think it would be good for fans too if we had some distance from the Vampire Academy world. Because you went right into Bloodlines after Vampire Academy, right?
Yes.
And was that your decision, or was that your editors or your publishers?
Yeah.
Okay.
So all in all, it was a great interview. I got some answers that I wanted to hear. Richelle is actually working on a new series. You heard that right? You heard that? She's working on a new series, but it's not a part of Vampire Academy, but I'm still super excited about that. If you haven't yet already read the Vampire Academy series or the Bloodline series, I'm currently on Indigo Spell right here, and I'm slowly making my way through it. So this is what I'm going to tell you to do. Try it on audiobook, audible.com. Audible.com has kindly sponsored this video for me, and I do have my own personal audible.com link. It's audible.com/tasha.c.polis. Isn't that cool? It is. I've been in a huge reading slump lately, but audiobooks seem to get me through it just because it fills my free time whenever I do have free time, like I'm putting on makeup. That's when I really do listen to audiobooks. I put it on my iPod in my speaker. My other favorite way of listening to audiobooks is to listen to them while I'm doing chores, like vacuuming. Oh yeah, listen to audiobooks while I'm vacuuming, while I'm doing the dishes. You start listening to the words in your head and you're like scrubbing dishes and you're like, okay, you're getting into it, and you just kind of forget about all the chores you're doing right there. You're getting everything clean, but you have a story going through your head. Audible has over like 180,000 titles that you could choose from, and it's really just the simplest way to listen to audiobooks, because sometimes they can get really expensive for like all those books on tape, or you have to wait for them at the library. You can download the app on your phone, and that way you could have it with you when you're out on the road, or just put your earbuds in while you're getting ready for the day, and it's super simple. It's just a low monthly fee, but with my link audible.com/tasha.c.polis, you get a 30-day free trial. Try it out, guys. I just want to say a big thank you to Mary, who filmed the Richelle Mead interview for me. She didn't have a tripod. She was just holding my heavy camera in her hands, and you did such a good job. Thank you, Mary. And also to Kat and Christine and Jessie for helping me out with all the questions. And to you guys who also sent in some questions for me, thank you so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll see you next time. Keep calm and fangirl on. Bye! We had this kind of awkward interruption by a couple authors walking by. It was like Veronica Roth, Marissa Meyer, and a lot more authors that just decided to talk and interrupt my interview. Then we had an airplane go over us. It was just, it was a mess.
Okay.
Do you want to wait till the
Yeah, I
script
want to
is
wait
cast?
Yeah. Authors.
I don't know what's going on. Let's see. So Veronica and Ellie Condi.
Marissa.
I wonder what they're...
Okay.
I think one of my favorite scenes is in the Golden Lily when Adrian... Oh my gosh, do you want to wait for that airplane to pass?